Hello students. Today I'm going to be doing some real life solving percent problems so that we can apply what we're learning to our real lives. Some of you may have heard the word tithe before. Sometimes we talk about it in church, and it means to give 10% of what you earn back to the Lord. So we're going to use this in a real life problem. So say that you have a summer job. Maybe during your summer job, you make $250 a week, we'll say. Okay, so if I want to give some money to the church, I need to know what 10% of 250 is, right? So, to get started on this problem, as Mrs. Ferrari has on the 3 steps in her PowerPoint, I'm first going to write the percent as a fraction. 10 over 100 and multiply it by the whole, 250. Now, before I move on, I'm going to simplify my fraction so that instead of 10 over 100, I'm going to have 1 over 10 times 250. I know that 250 times 1 is just 250 over 10. And then I'll go ahead and simplify that fraction by getting rid of the zeros, and I have 25 over 1, which equals 25. So there I have it. $25 is 10% of 250. That's what I would be tithing. Let's do another problem. Let's say that you go out to eat with your friends. And the total amount of money that you spend on your meal is $12.50. Now, typically, you give the waitress or waiter a tip, and it's usually about 15%. So I need to know what 15% of $12.50 would be in order to give the right tip. So we're going to do the problem just like we did with the first one. First, write the percent as a fraction, 15 over 100, and multiply it by the whole, $12.50. Now, I'm going to simplify my fraction. I know that 5 times 3 is 15 and 5 times 20 is 100. And I'm going to go ahead and make $12.50 into fraction form. Then I'm also going to change my mixed number into a fraction. Multiply 12 times 2, 24, plus 1 is 25. And then I'm going to multiply them. 3 times 25 is 75, and 20 times 2 is 40. Now I can reduce both of these fractions because I know that 5 goes into 75 15 times, and 5 goes into 40 8 times, so I have 15 over 8. Now, in order to make this into dollars, we use decimals, right? So all I would do is 15 divided by 8, which gives me 187.5, and I'll just round that to $1.88. That's what my tip would be for a total of $12.50. Let's do another problem together. In this problem, we are going to be finding the whole. Let's say that you want to make some cupcakes. And you need sugar for your cupcakes, obviously, right? But you're not only making cupcakes, you want to make the icing that goes with it. So we need sugar for both the cupcakes and the icing. 75% of the sugar you need will go to the cupcakes, and then the remaining will go to the icing. The 75% of sugar is 2 1/4 cups. We want to know what is the total amount of sugar that you need, right? That's what we're going to be looking for. Let's get started on finding our whole. The first thing I'm going to do is I will write my percent as a fraction, which means I'll be writing 75 over 100. Now the next part of my problem, I'm going to divide the part by the fraction. So the part that I have is 2 1/4, and I will divide that by 75 over 100. But before I do this division problem, I'm going to simplify my terms a little bit. I want to make 2 1/4 into just a fraction, not a mixed number. And I'll go ahead and reduce 75 over 100 to 3 over 4, because I know that 75 divided by 25 is 3 and 100 divided by 25 is 4. Now I also know that when I divide by a fraction, it's the same as multiplying by the reciprocal, which means you just switch the denominator and the numerator. I'll go ahead and simplify that. The 4's cross out, and I have 9 divided by 3 is 3. There's my answer. 3 cups of sugar total to make cupcakes and icing.